All right. 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, guys, gonna do a little op art today. I went ahead and introduced this to you in our meet, but I want to go ahead and show you now exactly what we're gonna do. We're gonna do two different kinds of op art drawings today, and I'm gonna show you both of them. And then I want you to go through and in your sketchbooks do exactly what we do here, okay? So we're learning a concept, and we're going to take that concept and we're going to express it later in a final drawing. So first, the concept. So there's two drawings that you're going to do. So we're going to pretend this is a page in your sketchbook, right? So I want one page in your sketchbook turned horizontally, and then you're going to divide that page right down the middle. So you got a space for one drawing and a space for a second drawing, okay? Now, there's a bunch of different ways you can do these things. So this is not the only way. I'm going to show you this one, and then I'm going to make another video later about how we do a more complex one or have some more fun with it, okay? So this one's easy. This is the first one that we do. They're all really easy. This one's called the over-under. So you want to go ahead and write over-under at the top of your page there. And then we're going to divide it. We're going to quarter the page. So you can just do this by hand. You don't need to use a ruler right now. Okay, but I'm going to use a ruler. I'm going to divide by vertically, and I'm going to divide horizontally. Okay, so this is going to quarter my page. Quarter my page. Now I'm going to divide those quarters into twos. So watch. I'm going to draw a line here, and I'm going to rotate it around, and I'm going to draw a line over here. So I've cut those quarters, not into twos, I guess, into threes. Okay, so each quarter has now become a third. And then I'm going to do it again here. I'm going to rotate my ruler, and I'm going to do it here. This is going to give me basically 12 equal sections. Okay, the thing about doing an over-under, the thing is it's tricky about this, is you have to make sure that you have even numbers of sections, because you're doing an A, B repeating pattern, okay? A, B, all the way around. So that when you get back here to A, you've got a B in front of it. Okay, so it's a repeating pattern, okay? So this is so easy to do. It's like the easiest thing in the world to do. Watch, so easy. Okay, so now I'm gonna take, in this section, I'm gonna make my overs, and in this section, I'm gonna make my unders. It's so easy, watch. So I'm going to, I always like to turn my paper so that my section's facing upward. And now I'm going to arch a line, hard to see, but I've angled it upward like an arch, okay? And I'm going to do another one, and another one, another one. See what I'm doing? So I'm trying to keep these parallel to each other. Another one. I have a very big piece of paper here. You guys have a much smaller piece of paper. But the one thing that you can't do is, as you get towards the end, as you get to the larger sections, you see I finished that section out by doing that and by doing that. As we get to the bigger ends, people have a tendency to flatten their line. They make it flatter. They make it flatter. Don't do that. Don't make your line flatter. Keep that good arch going, and you're going to be in good shape. Now, the next section over, super duper easy. It's an under, and under, and under, and under. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to finish this section. I'm going to show you what to do in the next section, and then I'm going to fast forward the video until I get done. And then you'll see what it's going to look like. Got another one there. Okay, so next, so I've got the over and the under, and now here we come back, and what do you think I'm going to do? Over. Another one. This is very repetitious, okay? The concept of optical illusion artwork, op art, the concept of that sometimes has to do with the idea of repetition. You see, I got this thing going. It has to do with the idea of repetition, so that your eye keeps seeing this same pattern rotating around and around, and it does like this funny, weird thing with your eye. And your eye goes, ooh, that was creepy looking, or ooh, that's weird. That's what optical illusion artwork's supposed to do. So here we go. I'm going to finish this guy up. We're going to fast forward the video, and then I'm going to move on to what the second one is. Here we go. Now, before I move on, I'm going to go ahead and slow it down for a second. You see I got all this space? Now I just fake it, right? I pretend that it continues out here. Okay, so I pretend that because that's going to be something that's going to come back to get me later if I don't. Okay? So I always want to have that completion of the section. Think of it as like a piece of pie. I always want to have that piece of pie fully completed, fully filled out. Otherwise, see that little bit right there? Otherwise it can come back to get me in the end and I can have a problem. Okay? All right, back to the fast forward. Boop. All right, coming back full speed now, no more fast forward for the finishing effect. So basically what I want to do and what I've done all the way around is I've basically made these lines touch each other all the way around. They're like it's like a ribbon almost effect. Okay, so now I've got to connect the dots. So I'm going under, under, under. If you've done well with your spacing going around this, you won't have too many problems here. Okay, right now though, you'll see I'm having some issues because, see, I've got some funny little lines here. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to cheat at this point because that looks like poo. I don't like that. Okay, so now it's time to cheat a little. So now I'm going to go under from the same one right here. I did a double, and that's going to bring this back. Whoops, that's going to bring this back to like even. So you want to follow the rules always. But as I tell my kids with a lot of stuff, you want to follow the rules always, but you got to know when to cheat. And if you do it right, they'll never catch you. Don't do that in school. That's not good. But sometimes in art, you have to know how to do like a little cheater there. That way you pull it off. And then you go, boom. Now you got this over-under thing. And the magic of the over-under happens when we do all the coloring and the shading and all of that. And then it becomes this crazy woo-looking thing. So it's pretty wild. But that is the over-under. So go ahead and pause the video, make an over-under, and then you'll restart it here in a second. Okay. So hopefully you have made your over-under. It looks awesome, and you are ready to move on to the next one, which is the blob drawing. So it's very similar to the over-under in the fact that it uses over and under lines. But it's different in its setup because the over-under is kind of a centrally kind of focused picture. It's like a one-point perspective kind of thing. It's like centrally focused, so you got this one focus point in the middle. With a blob, you have several. So the way the blob is going to work is I'm going to draw a curvy line and another set of curvy lines. These lines do not run parallel to each other. These lines are not the same. They can run congruent, kind of in the same direction, but you don't want them to be parallel to each other, okay? So something like that. So I just drew 4 of them, okay? And then somewhere near the middle, I'm going to draw one more curvy line like that, okay? So this is going to be the setup for the blob. So I've got curvy lines vertical, curvy line horizontal, and now I'm going to go overs and unders, okay? But the overs and unders don't have to line up on this one, okay? So this is the big trick. So if it's above the horizontal line, it gets an over. If it's below the horizontal line, it gets an under. It's really simple. Watch. Over. But watch what I do here. I'm not just going to candy stripe it like this. I'm not going to do that. I'm actually going to go back to the beginning and I'm going to bubble it up. See that? And now I'm going to use the curves involved to help guide where I make. Watch this. Ooh, it meets up with the line. See that? Watch this. Ooh, it meets up with the line. And it's becoming and you can blob it around and bubble it. This will look kind of like worms when it's done, like the segmented parts on worms, you know? Watch, so that's over, now watch under. You don't have to be even with it. You just kind of go where the line tells you to go. So you can have some fun with it too. So you just kind of do that. And now the next section over, repeat. But again, these don't line up. I do what the blob tells me to do. See that? That don't line up at all. So each blob is individual. Some people really like doing blob drawings. I kind of like them. They're kind of fun. Some people feel like they don't have enough rules with a blob drawing, so they have a difficult time understanding like how to put the line, and they don't feel comfortable just letting the line morph and change for them. So a lot of kids do really well with this, but some kids kind of struggle with the blob. So there's the blob. So I'm going to go through here. We'll fast forward. This won't take very long at all. The over-under takes way longer. So I'm going to go ahead and finish these next couple rows of blob, and then we're going to fast forward the video a little bit, and then you guys are going to get to see what it looks like in the end. All right, so what I did here, really interesting, I did an over-under variation. So this is something else that you can do. You can go over, under, and then reverse it, under, over, and do. So what I did was a reversal here. So that's just show you there's different things that you can do, okay? So then this one, if I go the other way, would be like this. So there's no right or wrong way as long as you're continuing your blob situation in the same way, okay? So I'm going to finish up with some overs. Notice I take this all the way to the edge of my paper. I know you can't see, there you go. So now you can see the edge of my paper. But notice I take this all the way to the edge of my paper. And again, I want to stress, I can't stress more. these lines do not line up. They do not line up at all. But it creates this weird kind of gelatinous kind of blobby effect, okay? And that's why I call it a blob drawing. So then you got that. And then again, just like the over-under, these really explode and pop whenever you put your shading and your color together on them. So once we get to that portion of the drawing, I'll probably be back in class then, but once we get to that portion of the drawing, I'll show you what that looks like, and you guys will be amazed by it. So again, over under, blob, this is drawing 1, this is drawing 2. You're going to be doing both of them in your sketchbook, half-size drawings in each page, okay? And then these are going to be worth 5 points each. So then next class, we're going to do 2 more drawings for 5 points each. All the sketches are going to be worth a total of 20 points. So there you go. Good stuff, Maynard. See you guys later.